Hi, this is Dr. Stephanie Wautier, and I'm the host of Conversations with a Chiropractor. I believe healing often begins with connection, and that's really what this podcast is about. These are real conversations about health, healing, life, and the stories that shape us. Some guests come from the wellness world, some come from the community, and some simply bring a life experience worth sharing. My hope is that each conversation invites you to listen, learn, reflect, and maybe see your own life or healing in a new way. Sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy this conversation with a chiropractor. Today on Conversations with a Chiropractor, I am joined by Cathy Nesbitt. Cathy has a history in psychology. She has a degree in psychology, and she combines that academic knowledge with her passion for holistic health. She creates impactful wellness programs. She is a founder of Cathy's Crawly Composters, Cathy's Sprouters, and Cathy's Laughter Club. Cathy is a multi-award-winning environmental innovator who uses workshops and inspirational speaking to motivate people to live a more sustainable life. And she is a certified laughter yoga teacher. Cathy, thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm excited, Stephanie. Thank you. I sound so impressive. I sound like a juggler.
You are so impressive, and you bring so many unique things to the table. The first thing that I want to ask you, most of our listeners probably know what yoga is, but tell me what laughing yoga is.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, yes. Let's start with the laughter. I love it. Laughter yoga is not doing yoga and laughing. It's not about fancy pants or poses. It's not jokes or comedy. Here's what it is. Laughing. Laughing for the health of it. Started in 1995 by a medical doctor in India, and his goal is world peace. So we just celebrated the 31st anniversary, and I kind of feel like it started in 95 so that we could be ready for 2020. It's a global movement.
Yes. Wow. Let me ask you this. So, I know a little bit about the science of laughter. What would you tell someone if they said, I'm feeling really low and I don't even think that I could muster up a laugh? Like, would you tell them to start in the physical, even if they don't feel it emotionally? Would you tell them, hey, let's start with ha ha ha, would you start with a belly laugh, or how would you engage someone who feels like they're so low that they couldn't even muster a laugh?
I love that. Oh, so great. Yeah, so the wonderful part about laughter is our body doesn't know the difference between real and simulated laughter. So our brain does. Oh, our ego knows. Whoa, you want me to laugh for, I'll say no reason, but there are lots of reasons, right? The health benefits, but with no stimulus, and then your mind is piping off, you look ridiculous, all the things. And our body is the feeler. So when at the beginning of a class, or if people get in touch and they're like, I'm really feeling sad, I don't feel like laughing, I don't think I can come today, I say, please bring your able body and we'll help you laugh. And you're right. We start not necessarily with the belly laugh. We might just start with a smile. If someone's feeling like they're really struggling, just start with a smile. And as soon as we smile, we send a note to our brain. Hey, I must be happy I'm doing that curled up lip thing. So we secrete some love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Just a little bit, just a little over-the-counter dose. And then we add a giggle. Ha ha ha. Even real or not. Ha ha ha. I don't feel like it. Ha ha ha. Again. Oh, we send a note. I'm making that ha ha sound and ho ho sound. What is happening? I must be happy. Pew pew pew. We start secreting more. We're in charge of our own pharma, Stephanie. When we're laughing and engaging, we're singing, dancing, playing, we are secreting the happy hormones. And we feel good, we're looking up and we're connecting. when we're feeling sad, depressed, anxious, stressed, I'll talk about stress in a minute. We're secreting cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine. We're not breathing fully. Blood lymph oxygen leaves our frontal lobe to go into our muscles so we can escape, even if we're escaping from our mind. Laughter brings us to the present, so we're laughing, ha 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 ha. We're exhaling. In order to continue ha ha haing, we need to take a nice deep breath in. And then we can continue ha ha ha. And so, yes, there are the yoga part of laughter yoga. So let me go back to that. Laughter yoga was called laughter yoga, started in India by a medical doctor. His wife is a yoga teacher. So they kind of combined modalities, the laughing, and then called it laughter yoga. I mean, it started in India, so it kind of made sense. Although I think it does a disservice to it now.
Really?
I do. When people will say, oh, I don't like yoga. My response is, good. It's not yoga. It's laughing. Join me. So some explanation is required.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're doing different like traditional yoga poses, or like the word yoga was from that invention of this process, but yeah, tell us, would we be sitting? And I think you do a Zoom class, is that correct?
I do. So it works. Again, the magic part of laughter is it's in us all waiting to burst out. It can be seated. I do encourage in my Tuesday club, I do encourage people to stand, although I have people with very varying physical abilities. So people can be seated. It still works. You could be bedridden. How cool is that? One of my students, I'm a teacher, so I teach leaders, and one of my students was bedridden. She had a brain injury, and she took the course, she became trained as a leader. And not the next time I saw her, but a few months later, she came to my club and she was standing, and I was so moved that not that the laughter healed her. I'm not making any claims.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the laughter is complementary magic medicine. You can stack modalities. We can't multitask, but we can stack healing things. So we can laugh and tap, for example. Ha ha ha. And so we're doing our kind of emotional freedom technique while we're laughing. You can do Qigong and laugh. So you can combine your modalities.
I love that. So do you personally do EFT? Are you like an EFT provider?
I've been a tapper since 1999.
Wow.
Well, since the late 1900s. Oh my gosh, I sound ancient.
Will you share with our listeners a little bit about what EFT or emotional freedom technique is?
For sure. Yes. It's tapping on, so emotional freedom technique, EFT, is tapping on meridians. So it's like acupuncture, but it's self-administered. So you're tapping on certain meridians, and you don't need to know about, where you're tapping. It doesn't matter like what meridian you're on. You don't need to know that. And there's a mantra. So do you want to go through a round? Should we,
Yeah, let's do it.
Except for the audio people?
Well, they'll have to watch the video.
Yeah, I can say where I'm tapping. So we just start. Yeah. We'll just do one round. So you start on your karate chop point, either hand. So tapping with your fingers on the side of your hand. And at this point, let's say stress, because everyone's stressed. But if somebody has an ailment that they want to work on, they have a headache or a backache, they can use that. But we'll say stress. So the words are and this is the words that I use. I mean, people can make up their own. Even though I'm feeling really stressed, I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling deeply stressed, say it again.
I deeply love and accept myself.
I deeply love and accept myself.
So we say it 2 more times. You say it 3 times. Even though I'm feeling really stressed, I deeply love and accept myself. And saying it with conviction is the important piece. And so
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I won't do it with you.
Yeah, so we would say it 3 times. Even though I'm feeling deeply stressed or very stressed, I deeply love and accept myself. So that's important to say that. Then the next piece is on the corner of your eyebrow, kind of on the inside of the eyebrows. And here you don't need to say the whole thing. You just say stress, tapping there a few times. And then on the corner of the eye, and this is the rage point. So if somebody feels like really angry, tapping on your temples, that can calm down the anger. So then we would say stress here while we're tapping. Under the eye, stress. Under the nose, in the crick of the nose there, stress. Under the lip, stress. Collarbone, stress. And then the top of the head, stress. And what I didn't say was before you do that, you would kind of give it a number so that you know if you've moved it or not. And I was taught EFT by Gary Craig, the founder of EFT. There are a whole, right? And he did have just like a very basic mantra, and it worked. It helped me overcome my fear. Maybe some of your listeners have this where I could climb up somewhere, but I couldn't climb down. Like I could climb a tree, get up, but how am I now? I need the firefighters. Maybe by design. Right? I could climb a ladder. Well, no, I could probably climb down the ladder. But right, so you get it. And so I don't know what happened, but it was tapping for, I needed to clean not that I needed to, my husband cleans the eaves trough, but I just thought, let's see if I can. So I was just tapping, even though I have this fear of cleaning the eaves trough, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then next thing I knew, I'm standing on the edge of the railing, I'm reaching over, I didn't get a ladder, I'm just reaching over, and my husband's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm just just getting these leaves here out. And he was like, no. And I started laughing. I thought, maybe fear keeps you safe.
Right.
But, as a speaker, I would do tapping if I'm feeling anxious. Like, even though I have the speaking gig, I'm feeling anxious. I deeply love and accept myself, right? It works for everything. Emotional freedom technique. So beautiful.
So profound that you learned this from the inventor, from the original. Wow. And would you say that the key, no matter what that first part of the statement is, so even though, and then fill in the blank, I deeply love and accept myself. That is the key to that, like emotional freedom.
Yeah, Dr. Joe Vitale added in, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Right? Because we often beat ourselves up. And that's what, especially since 2020, my whole operating principle now is to help people feel good, like get out of stress, because we can't function when we're paralyzed by stress. Yeah. Our body's not getting what it needs. We're not healing. We're not digesting. We're not sleeping. And today we wear stress as a badge of honor. Like, I'm so busy. I only slept 3 hours last night, but I got all this stuff done. Well, did you really get it done? Or because what happens is we have our big to-do list. And if we don't put ourselves first, I have a very strict morning and evening routine that's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable because once I look after me, I can take care of the rest. I'm ready for what the world throws at me. But we have our list. If we don't put ourselves first, we're chipping away at our list, getting our things done, and the day's getting on, it's wearing on. Now it's getting on bedtime, but I still have a whole slew of things to do. So we rob our sleeping time. We're like, I'll go to bed at 11 instead of 10, or midnight instead of 11. And that, it just throws off our whole system, because we really need that deep sleep to regenerate. And toxins, I don't know how it works, but toxins get released from our brain and then, washed out through our urine and our feces and, all of those things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I think that culturally we are in a crisis right now. And, I'll admit that I've been in this situation too. You're a working mom and there's never enough time. And it's really, really easy to put yourself last. It's almost like instinctual. I mean, I hate to say that, but like I'm just going to do this and put everyone else first. And, cause I can handle it, right? Cause I can handle not sleeping or, I can handle not taking care of myself. And it becomes like a really, unfortunate cycle. So that's a really profound thing for our listeners, for you to say, you know what, this is my non-negotiable. This is the space that I leave for myself, that I protect, that time. Because you're right. If you're not healthy and strong and like at your full potential, then you can't help anyone else. Yeah.
Right. And not only can you not help somebody else, but you may be angry or you may resent doing that thing for somebody else because you didn't get to do something for you. And here's my morning routine, Stephanie. It's not like it's hours, so, really chipping away at my time. It's, maybe 15 minutes in the morning. That's it. So you could get up a little bit earlier if need be. And here's what I do. I get up. Well, first of all, before I don't use an alarm, but when I wake up, before jumping out of bed, because that's what we do too. We're like, oh, I got a lot to do today. Take a breath. Take a couple of breaths. Take 3 breaths and breathe in. Like just lay there thinking about what you're grateful for. When we start our day with gratitude instead of our to-do list, it changes everything. The list is there. It's going to be waiting for you when you get to it. So take a couple of deep, nice, slow, deep breaths. Maybe hand on heart, hand on belly, just laying there. What am I grateful for today? Oh, hey, I woke up. Yoop, that's a bonus. Because sometimes people are really struggling. And they're like, you want me to be grateful? I don't know. I'm in so much pain. So start small, like, I've got clean water to drink. Yahoo. I had a bed. Like whatever it is, small things. And then when I get out, like I do my washroom things, I have a giant glass of water. And I think this is important to flush our system, right? I was talking about the brain getting rid of toxins. So when we flush our body, it's like flushing the toilet. It washes out, and it gets one of my glasses in for the day. So one at night, and one in the morning, one at night. Before I go to bed, I drink a glass of water as well. And then I'll go outside. I'm in Canada, so I don't do this in the winter. I got full disclosure. And I earth. So I'm barefoot on the grass. First morning, I'm an early riser, so first sun on my eye, which resets my melatonin. We're not taught this stuff. This for anyone if this is new information, this has been years in the making, right? It's cumulative of gaining knowledge.
Yeah.
I do some beautiful deep breaths. I do a little bit of stretching, some energy work, like 10 or 15 minutes. Boom, that's it, done. And then it's like, okay, I'm ready. What have you got? Right? Because I'm connected. I've taken a moment to just be like, I'm so grateful. Thank you, universe, for whatever you bring to me today. And the night one is even shorter, like only 5 minutes. Just a few stretches. I actually spoon my feet. I take a stainless steel spoon.
You do?
Yeah. Do you know about it?
No.
Oh.
Tell me about it.
Okay. So this has a magnet just to show that it's a stainless steel. It's not my fancy sterling. It's not a bamboo spoon, even though I'm eco-friendly.
Okay.
Okay. So I have this spoon, just a regular spoon from the cutlery drawer, but it lives on my headboard, except when I'm on podcasts. And so I've done all my things, wash, brush my teeth, all the things. When I go to bed, as if this was my foot, I just spoon my foot. I usually do figure eights, but you can just go up and down. The metal in the spoon attracts the iron in our blood and corrects our polarities. What? So North Pole right at our head, south at our feet. Sometimes because there's so much energy going on, like we got all these like 5G and all the things, Wi-Fi everywhere. Sometimes we get spun, and I would suggest that if people are feeling depressed, anxious, frustrated, they may be spun. This helps correct our polarities, so now we're flipped properly, and it helps ground us. So when spooning your feet, and I would do both feet, when you spoon your feet, you may yawn. And yawning is wonderful because it's just energy moving. And when you yawn, now you're in parasympathetic. You're in rest and
Mm.
digest. So ready to go off. So talking about bedtime ritual, after I spoon my feet, one hand on belly, one hand on heart, breath in through the nose, which creates nitric oxide. And then I hum it out, teeth, lips sealed, and just hum it, like a low tone. And when we hum out our breath, our nitric oxide goes up by 15 times.
Wow.
Wow, nitric oxide lowers our blood pressure. It expands our blood vessels. So just everything's flowing better. And it's kind of like laughing gas, but not quite the same chemical compounds.
You are so wise. You have so many cool things for my listeners to learn and myself. You know, it's interesting. Like, I think it was an applied kinesiology class, and I learned a little bit about having your polarity switched. But it was one of those things that sort of comes in and goes out, right? Like one of those things when you're learning so much, and it's like the way that I learned how to like unswitch my polarity seemed very complicated. Nothing as simple as just using a spoon and doing a figure 8 on my foot every night. Like that's totally doable. That's what like. I love all of these tips because they're so easy to incorporate into our lives.
So easy. And that's it. I think that's the beautiful part is we have all these techniques. We're not taught. We're not
Nope.
taught a lot of things that how to function. I think what we're taught in school is how to survive, how to get by. And that's why we're in such a stressful state is because we don't know how to thrive yet.
Yeah.
We're not taught how to really prosper.
Mm-hmm. This brings me so many questions, but where in Canada are you? Like, how cold is it? Because I'm in a very northern part of Michigan.
Okay, we're neighbors. I'm in Ontario. I'm just north of Toronto.
Okay, because we had the worst winter of my life here.
Yeah.
And what would you tell someone who couldn't put their bare feet on the ground, like in the morning? Or if they don't have sun to see, like, do you have like a substitute morning grounding routine that you do in the depths of winter?
I do have a grounding mat, so there are products that you can buy, that ground you. Um, the tapping. So tapping on this meridian on your cheekbones, under your pupils, that is stomach meridian. So
Hmm.
stomach meridian will ground you.
Hmm.
So just tapping on
Interesting.
your, I know, right? Just tapping on your stomach meridian helps to ground you. And that is part of my morning routine. There's 4 places. I don't do the whole EFT rounds every day. I do tap on 4 spots. We can do it if you like. So tapping here, and it's the breathing and tapping that makes this work. So breathe in deep through your nose, tapping. Smiling, hold it, exhale with a sigh, ha. And I'll talk
Oh.
about that in a moment. So if you have an upset belly, tapping here may help. Or if you're feeling spun and you need to be grounded, tapping here may help you. Next part is on your collarbone. There's a little divot. So come there. That's the last point on the kidney meridian. And notice how you feel as you're tapping on these spots. If there's any tenderness, you just need some work there. That's all. So again, the breathing there. So we're going to breathe and tap. And exhale, ha. And next one is on the thymus, so right in the center. And there was a wonderful article. And so what I have people do here, thymus is where the T cells go to age, or go to mature, and they're the cancer-fighting cells. As soon as we hit puberty, our thymus starts to shrink. And scientists up until the 60s believed that the thymus was kind of just this useless thing, like what it was just for, like, as we were developing as children, because it shrank. They're like, oh well, it must be not useful. But there was an article in the Washington Post on May 3rd about this mysterious organ that leads to longevity and cancer like prevention. So tapping on your thymus. So what I would do here is have people tap and get their stress out. So breathe in Make noise like Tarzan. Ah. And then end ha ha ha. And it just feels good, and sometimes we're like, when something good happens, we're like, we tap here, and that's tapping in the joy. Like that's
Hmm.
that's like, it's so beautiful, right? And sometimes when we're overwhelmed, we go, oh my gosh, this is the oh my gosh point. And that's beautiful because there's neurovasculars here. When we go into stress, blood lymph oxygen leaves our frontal lobe and goes into into our muscles so we can escape. So what this does is brings blood lymph oxygen back up to our frontal lobe so we can think better, so we can come up with better solution. Stephanie, people will say to me, oh, and the last point, I said 4 spots. So let me do that before we get on. So you just put your arms kind of like this, and then you just tap on your ribs. Like one at a time, fast or slow at the same time, whatever you want to do. This is spleen meridian. When we're under stress, spleen doesn't get any energy. And right, we're living in this stressful time. So giving your spleen a little bit extra love is great. And sometimes, like whenever I do my laughter club, that's how I start my club, is tapping on those 4 spots. So anyone that comes to my club will be able to remember those, because I encourage people to tap every day on those spots. So your body remembers, oh yeah, okay, that's why I'm here. There we go. It just gets your energy going. And it really is training our energy to go in the right direction. Like not always be firing in stress, but okay, phew.
Yes.
Which is why it's important, I think, not to watch the news, especially right before going to bed, right? Because then we're like, oh my gosh, all the stuff that I saw that I can't do anything about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not laughing at what's happening,
Yes.
because
Right.
people will be like, Cathy, how can I possibly laugh? There's so many things going on in the world. My
Hmm.
response is, there's so many things going on in the world, we must laugh. Not at, because of.
Yes,
To
exactly.
manage our nervous system.
Yeah, because if we are all in a low vibrational state and we are all sick and we are all in a state of angst, what good is that going to do for not only ourselves but for the greater good? You
Mm.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just energy, right? You've heard everything's energy. Laughter is a vibration. It's high vibration. It's high vibration. What do I say? High vibration magic medicine. I mean, it's way up here. When you're laughing, you forget everything. Sometimes when I'm leading club, I don't even know what I'm going to do next. It totally went out of my head. It's okay because no one knows what I'm going to do. And the nice part is there is breathing, although when you're laughing, you're exhaling. There are breathing, like, oh, breathe in, exhale, ha. Um, and I usually do 3 breaths at a time. So if I've forgotten, what's next? I'm like, okay, let's breathe, everybody. And then I know there's 2 more breaths coming along, so I can be like, okay, oh, good. Thank you. That's what I'll do
Hmm.
next. And I did say that I would talk about the sigh. When we breathe in through our nose and then sigh it out, it's an auditory signal to our brain. Oh, I must be happy, or I must be relaxed because I'm making that relaxed sound. We're never flapping around looking for our phone keys, glasses, sighing, or running for the bus sighing.
Yeah.
No, that's right. So there's these little tricks that we can do to trick our brain.
This is amazing. This is spectacular. You literally have so much wisdom and so much beautiful information to share. Wow. I know we have a few other things to talk about too, but feel free to jump back into this because I'm learning so much. This is amazing. This is so good. So good. I want to know about worms.
Okay. Yes. It's the 24th anniversary of Cathy's Crawly Composters. Wow, 24 years selling worms by the pound for indoor composting. What? Um,
Yeah,
so you're in,
truly, truly.
so you're in Michigan. I'm sorry for my story, but so in 2002, the landfill for the Greater Toronto area closed. It filled up. The landfill got full, and the governments aren't so super smart. Like they're not business people. They don't think, all they think is their 3 or 4 year window. So it's hard to do long-term planning when you want to make your mark in your 3 or 4 year term. So, as long as there was room, and I kind of joke because I'm sarcastic too, but as long as there was room for the garbage trucks yesterday, they're like, okay, nothing to do. All right, go to bed, everyone, all is well. And then the landfill filled and it was like, oh my gosh, what do we do now? So Canada is second largest country in the world. And we couldn't find a place to site a new landfill. It's urgent, right? 6 million people in the Greater Toronto Area. That's a lot of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, but we started to export our garbage to Michigan. Almost 1,000 trucks a week. And not anymore. We found a place. But for several years, we were exporting our garbage and it made me sick. It literally broke my heart that we were so irresponsible. Like be responsible. There's no way. There's one planet, everybody, and I'm breathing the same air as Stephanie. I'm drinking the same water as you. Everything goes around and there is no way. People are like, oh, I'll just send it away, at the curb. We put our garbage out at the curb, we go to work and we come home and it's like, oh, the magic truck came again. I don't know where it went. I think that visits to the landfill should be mandatory for schools, so people can see the impact. Like, oh, it's just one bag. It's just one coffee cup. It's just one. No, there's 8 billion of us. If everybody threw away one bag a day, imagine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, without getting on my soapbox, because I had a solution, at least for the wet waste, for the food waste. So this is indoor composting with worms. Same idea as outdoor composting, but done inside. And, my idea was waste management. I wasn't even thinking about all the other parts, like that the worms are making this black gold. They're the original alchemists. They turn what we call garbage or trash into something more usable, plant food. So we can grow more nutrient-rich food. Wow! In North America, we've destroyed the soil. Chemical engineers are so smart. They're doing their job. They are, and they're doing it very well, but not for the benefit of the soil. If we feed the soil feeds the plant, and the plant feeds us, and all is well. It's a beautiful merry-go-round cycle. But what we've done, we've broken we've broken how nature intended, and we do monocropping: corn, wheat, soy, acres and acres. Look at all the corn. Isn't that great? No, not really. Because once you get a pest in there, and so now we've got insecticide, fungicide, herbicide. Aside means death. Aside means death, and it's not targeted. Like they say, oh, it's killing that potato weevil or whatever. Okay, sure, it probably is, and wiping out all the other bugs too.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much, Stephanie, from my worm business about, like, I do a lot of school workshops, and I say if we ate like worms, not that I'm suggesting we eat paper and rotting food, but if we added more fiber, if we ate better, if we ate healthier, if we were more mindful about what we were doing instead of just, eating while we're driving or driving through and eating and like what are we doing? Why? Why are we in such a rush? If we ate like worms, we would poop like worms, and we wouldn't be spending so much time. Like, you want time back? Proper, and then you will save time in the bathroom. That's my dietary advice.
Saving time everywhere. So, let's just say, okay, I've never done this, and so I'm going to purchase a composting kit from you. What does that look like, and what does it look like in my kitchen, and how does someone go about this? What's the detail?
So no special equipment is required for the do-it-yourselfers. A Rubbermaid bin or a plastic tote is perfect, an old recycling bin. It's creating the right environment. So yes, there are systems for people that want something that looks nice. A Rubbermaid bin in your kitchen might not be the most beautiful thing, but I think it is. Right? It's creating the right environment. So the worms require a carbon-nitrogen mix. The carbon is the browns or the So shredded paper is what I say for indoor, but it could be leaves, straw, cardboard, drink trays, any combination of your paper products.
Okay.
And then the nitrogen is your food scraps. So your fruit and vegetable peels, coffee, tea, pasta, rice, cooked pasta and rice. If you have a rabbit or guinea pig, the manure from those animals is wonderful feed for the worms. Like everyone eating the scraps from the other. So it's just a wonderful, some rabbit breeders will have a worm bin right under their hutch. So the shavings, the poop, the urine is falling right into the worm bin. So it's a self-feeding system. But not everyone has rabbits. Okay, so it's your food scraps. The more you chop them up your scraps, the more exposed surface, the faster it breaks down, the more the worms can eat. And they are special worms. They're red wiggler worms. And if you had a pound of worms, say a pound of worms for easy math, they eat half their weight per day in food scraps once they're established. Wow, right? So a pound of worms, half a pound of food scraps per day, 3 to 4 pounds per week. So if everybody had a pound of, every family, say, had a pound of worms, imagine the impact on the planet. And everybody eats. Everybody creates food scraps. Yeah, so imagine if we were all composting or worm composting. I'm not really necessary. It doesn't have to be with worms. Any way that you want to. I don't even care if people feed the raccoons, although the neighbors might not be happy. Right, throwing your stuff outside.
I hate to admit, and many of us, people from the UP, we do this. We live sort of near the woods, and we put things in the woods for the animals.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to eat too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after a certain, this is aerobic, aerobic process, not anaerobic. It is aerobic, meaning with oxygen. So it will never smell like rotting food. If it smells like rotting food, now the oxygen has been converted to methane or gas. The worms can't breathe gas. We can't breathe gas. It's like a built-in mechanism. Some action is required. Maybe it's too wet, too much food. Something's happened. So action is required. You just remove some of the food, stir it up a little bit, add some dry bedding. And there are complete instructions on my website and all over the internet. Like really, it's becoming mainstream too. Yahoo!
Wow. But and remind me, how long have you been doing this?
24 years, since 2002.
Wow. That's spectacular.
Without repeat customers, Stephanie. So I must have been divinely guided, because why would I start a business without repeat customers? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Right. That's like spectacular. That's really spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you. And I have diverted several tons from landfill. All of my customers are also diverting from landfill.
Yeah.
So it's one of those businesses that feels good. I'm happy doing it. I love educating people. I love saying that I have worms. I get more space sometimes because I put my hands on my belly. I have worms. And then I go, no, I don't have worms here. I have worms here. It's one of those beautiful, and it's that, I think with I think with life, I was going to say business, but I think in life, when we bring passion to what we're doing, it doesn't have to be a business. I remember when I was an employee, I didn't come from an entrepreneur background. I came from an employee background. Everybody worked, and then, they worked hard and got a watch in 30 years. Not the case anymore with the gig economy, right? Nobody has one job for their life, but that's how it was at that time. So when this was just a real cuckoo thing that I started, and I think because of the passion, I knew I was in purpose, making a difference, that kept me going. And was it hard at the beginning? Oh my gosh, yes, because people were like, ew, worms, what, da-da-do, and I would take that personal, like, on a level, like not saying it out loud sounds
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think like when we are passionate about anything and then we receive that sort of negative feedback that we do take it personally. I mean, yeah, like yeah, it's something as unique and powerful as that. Of course, I can see that. Yeah.
Mm. And I have a psych degree, so I'm fascinated by people. And so when people were saying, "Ooh, worms in the house," I was like, no, I wasn't really listening. I was like, no, you need this. It's important. And then I discovered or learned, I didn't discover it, I learned it. I discovered I'm Columbus. I learned that people may have been traumatized as children. After a rainy day, somebody chased them around with a worm, or a fishing incident, the green goo. If you were traumatized by worms as a child, oh my gosh, you're not looking to worms as a solution as an adult. You're not like, oh, I'm afraid of worms, but I'll bring them in my house. Right? So I had that extra barrier to kind of that hurdle to overcome. So I started to do school workshops. And luckily, I don't have a fear of public speaking. That's one of my gifts is like, well, I don't know why. I guess because I needed to get this message out. I don't know. But
Yeah.
over 100,000 students have seen my presentation to date.
That's wonderful.
So
And
good.
just in Canada, or have you come to the United States?
Just schools only in Canada, but I have done workshops and stuff in the States. And I
Oh,
did get a chance to go to Guatemala to do worms over in Guatemala,
you
which was
did.
wow. Yes.
Wow. You know, I don't think a lot of my listeners know this, but I was a nurse before I became a chiropractor, and I was really, really interested in mission work, and Guatemala was the first mission trip that I ever went on.
Hey, so
Look at
good.
look at that connection.
Right? Yeah, they have a lot of NGOs in Guatemala.
Hmm.
Yes, they do. And it's a spectacular country. I mean, it's they have a lot of challenges, but all those volcanoes and it's beautiful and beautiful people.
Absolutely. Cathy, there's one more topic that I want us to talk about today.
Okay.
Sprouts. I want you to tell
Yes,
me about sprouts.
I will. So sprouts are simply germinating a seed or a bean. The system that I use is hydroponic, so it's kind of shaped like a little spaceship. It's the size of a dinner plate, food grade plastic, stainless steel mesh, and so you just put your seeds on the mesh, water in the dish underneath, and then the plastic dome on top creates like a microclimate. So it's like a little greenhouse. Sits on the counter, light or dark, but the one that I have, and you can sprout in jars. I'll talk about that. The system I have can be done right in the cupboard. So people are like, I don't have room. Okay, good. Or I live in a basement apartment. I don't have any windows. Good. You don't need any sun. If you germinate your sprouts in the sun, you get bitter beans. You get bitter sprouts.
Interesting.
Yeah, so again, kind of like a built-in thing for people that maybe live in small spaces, places that they don't have room to do a garden, or maybe they don't have a balcony if they live in apartments, so they can still grow sprouts. And I would love to tie all my things together. First, I'll tell you about the benefit of sprouts. I'm gonna sound so smart because I am.
You are, you are.
Sprouts are hydrating, alkalizing, regenerative, biogenic, and contain up to 100 times more digestive enzymes than raw vegetables. As soon as we cook them, no more enzymes, but vitamins, protein, everything. So hydrating. As soon as we get thirsty, we're starting to get dehydrated. So the sprouts are juicy. Alkalizing. In an acidic body, that's where cancer and some diseases can take place. Sprouts are alkalizing food, so they help to balance the pH in your body. Regenerative. I'll use Alzheimer's or dementias, are degenerative diseases, so they're breaking down. Sprouts are regenerative. Are they going to bring back your memories? No, but they fortify your cells, so they regenerate. Like they just fortify your body. Biogenic, probably my second favorite. The enzymes is my favorite piece. Biogenic, life force giving. When we eat live food, we get the energy from the food. People say to me, "Oh my gosh, Cathy, you're so I don't want that much energy." Like pointing at me, I don't want. And well, imagine how much stuff you could get done if you had this energy. First of all, energy is our life. When people are coming to the end of their life, we talk about their light is going out, they've lost their spark, they're low energy, right? We talk in electric terms. Energy is our life. This is not an act, and this is not caffeine induced. I do drink coffee, by the way, but it's a natural energy. It's a natural, so we eat the live food, we get the energy from the food naturally. And so I would love to tie all these things together.
Yes.
When we grow sprouts ourselves, first of all, we're in charge of the freshness. Sometimes when you buy sprouts sprouted, they have a funky smell. They might be a little slimy. That's them going bad already. It's super fresh food, and I would say get rid of that because it's got the bad bacteria on it already. And some bad bacteria is fine, like our body can handle it, but repeated, I'm advocating for eating sprouts every day. I start my day every day with sprouts. So I'm at my very first thing. It's a garden event, and there was a gentleman selling the sprouter that I use, and it was flying off the shelf. I said it looked like a spaceship. And when there was a break in the audience, I said, "What is that thing? And why are people buying that and not my worms?" Probably in a nicer way. He was a ballroom dancer, a professional ballroom dancer. And he said, it's a sprout grower. He was 72. And so remember I said I came from an employee background. I didn't know anybody that worked at 72. You know, 65, you retire, whatever you get, you're knitting out, I don't know, whatever. No.
Yeah.
Right? You get ready to end your life. No, stop it. Life begins. Anyway, so I was like, wow, 72. He was ballroom dancer, so had the beautiful lean body, crisp white shirt, black. He was a gentleman, right? Had that posture. Oh, beautiful. And I was like, wow, I don't need to know why something works, Stephanie. I look at him, okay, look at you. Wow, I want to be like you when I'm 72. Yes, I do. But to get there, I need to be healthy here, right? I was 39, so I'm like, okay. All right, so he said, okay. I said, all right, I'm in. So he said, if you're going to do this, start your day with 2 tablespoons of sprouted mung beans. Mung beans are the bean sprouts from Chinese food, but they call them bean sprouts instead of mung bean sprouts because mung is not a nice word. Right? It doesn't sound appetizing.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. For 10 years, this was my private health plan. I would start my day, Tony said, like I'm high energy already, but it was just like, oh, I felt great, right? Pardon me, but I was pooping regular because it was, it's an enzyme. So it was making everything work properly in my body. And anyway, okay, so 10 years. So then I saw Tony in 2012. Tony is the maker of this sprouter. 2012, now he's 82, still working, still doing those shows. And if any of your listeners are entrepreneurs and they've exhibited any of these fairs or shows where your life is on the line and people are asking for a discount or da-da-da, it's like, I'm not Walmart. No, you can't have a discount. Thanks for asking, but no. Right? Okay. It's hard. So I was like, wow, there's Tony, 70 or 82 now. And he said, why don't you sell this with your worm business? I was like, oh my gosh, why don't I? What a great idea. Right? I'd been a user for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I start selling it. I had only sprouted mung beans for 10 years. It was my health plan. This was my health plan. Okay. So I would be selling it, and I had sprouts for people to try, and a woman came and she said, oh, what if I don't like mung beans? Can you sprout anything else? And I said, I don't know. Because I didn't know. I hadn't sprouted anything else.
Yeah.
So she said, well, what if people don't like mung beans? I said, well, I never thought about it. I said, this is my health plan. So we can change our mind. If we know that something's good for us, we can decide. And really, the mung beans are really delicious anyway. So I said, okay. I went home from that event and I was like, Oh my gosh, what do I care if people like mung beans or they don't? And I became a sprouting monster. I'm experimenting. Chickpeas, lentils, fenugreek, radish. You can sprout whatever grows into a plant, starts as a sprout. So yeah, so now I sprout all of those things, and it's really magnificent. So I've been sprouting and doing worms since 2002, eating sprouts for 24 years, selling worms for 24 years. 2012, one more person said, "Ooh, worms in the house." And that very day, I heard it hundreds of times. That day, I heard it. I felt it. I questioned everything. I was like, universe, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. 10 years, I did my best. Maybe I should get a job. Ah, no, I would be a horrible employee. Don't tell me what to do. And the very next day, I was introduced to laughter yoga.
Wow.
Wow. And so before 20, and we already talked about the laughter, but in 2020, when the world shut down, or before 2020, I would say, I used to think I was like a juggler. Like, oh, what do you want? You want worms? Here, I have them. You want sprouts? You want laughter? What would you like? Here, I have it. And then all that thinking time. In Canada, we had almost 2 years of lockdown. It's hard to imagine. They let us out every now and then for good behavior, but then they locked us back in. Yeah, like brutal. It's so horrible, but like, how do you torture people? Isolation, right?
Yeah,
Even when you're in prison, you don't want to be in solitary. Come on.
absolutely.
Phew. So that's when I realized, wow, all the things that I offer, all of my offerings, worms for amending the soil, sprouts for eating, and laughter for overall health and wellness, are a way for a beautiful, simple, sustainable life. People want to get off the grid. You need worms, or you need to compost. You need to do permaculture. You need to grow some food, right? Sprouts are like the original fast food. Grow your own and you're in charge. And then laughter for overall health and wellness. It's really a beautiful life.
Mm. Cathy, this is like moving. This is so moving to me. I mean, truthfully, because I think that sometimes we overcomplicate things, right? Like, it's all or nothing. It's like you have to be on an organic, vegan, fill in the blank diet, and you have to eat this and do that and be in the gym. And like what I love about what you've shared with us is that these are really simple things that are not too much. They're not like, oh, I've got to have, you know, 75 minutes in the morning and 90 minutes at night, and just really beautiful, simple ways for us to integrate being healthier and leaving a healthier planet. I think a lot of towns and cities, and my town is very rural, and we're blessed that we do have recycling curbside, but a lot of places don't. And I think that we have to start training the next generation into thinking about long term. Like, I'm dumbfounded. I had no idea that we in the state of Michigan, we were having garbage from Canada shipped in. I had no idea about that. And I not to get too political, but I do think that it's hard for us to know what the truth is about what's happening. But we know we have to take care of our earth. We know that we have to take care of our bodies. And how beautiful that you are a juggler who can help to teach us to laugh and share with us the sprouting and share with us the worms. This has been really beautiful and really moving. I'm really inspired. I really, truly am.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share my story. Thank you.
Cathy, is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners? Of course, in the show notes, I'm going to have all of your links and your website and all of that. But anything right now for maybe somebody who's like driving, any quick link that you could share with them?
I would love to invite you and your listeners to my free online Tuesday club. Like, come and experience the magic of laughing for the health of it. It's so beautiful. You just zoom in. Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. 30 minutes of super fun self-care. I incorporate tapping, brain gym, qigong to help people get out of stress and into joy. I want people to care about the planet, Stephanie. I truly do. But when we're in a mental crisis, we can't even care about our neighbor. And we need to connect. We need community. We need to connect on a deeper level. And in June of this year, we'll be celebrating 6 years of our Global Giggle Gang.
Oh, Global Giggle Gang. Tongue twister.
I love alliteration.
I do too. Conversations with a chiropractor.
So good. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to catch Cathy on Tuesdays for laughter yoga. And we're going to have tons of links. And Cathy, thank you so much for literally changing our planet and changing the lives of so many people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this podcast, would you please rate it, review it, like, or subscribe? You can find me on social media at wautierwellness.com, Dr. Stephanie Wautier on Instagram, or Wautier Wellness Chiropractic and Massage on Facebook. And I'm so curious where your next conversation will take you.